These gemstones look like tiny works of art. Today I'm unboxing the Gemstone Orphanage Australian Picture Jasper collection. It's a bi-monthly box filled with coordinating jaspers, crystals, glass beads, and gunmetal findings. And of course I'll finish up with a quick tutorial using these beads. So let's dive in. I'd like to start off with introducing my gemstone orphan. Her name is Denaye. And here she is. So Denaye is Australian origins, meaning cute one. So this is a shield pendant, and you can see all the beautiful little markings. This is why we say that it looks like a piece of art. It's like, I really like these stones. This is really cool. So, and you've got all the different colors, you got the grays that are in there, all these yellows and oranges and everything. This is a really cool stone. I really like this one. So this is Denaye. So we'll put her off to the side, and then we'll start going through some of our items that we get in this month's box. Go ahead and start doing these real quick. So the first couple of items that you get, the first three, are going to be 8mm, 6mm, and 4mm. They're going to be the Australian Picture Jasper, just like our stone. It's also called Noreena Jasper as well. So you'll end up getting a total of 20 of your 8mm, 25 of your 6mm, and 35 of your 4mm. But look at the differences in these guys. Like there's the one here in the center where it's got a lot of yellow and orange there. It's like a big band of it. You can really see them really well, the differences in the beads and everything in the 8mm. So those are really, really neat. And I try to get enough out of the bag. See, there's one just red line down the center of it. It's pretty cool. But I try to get enough out of the bag to get a range of what your beads are going to look like. Your 6mm, you still see a whole lot of different patterns and things like that in the 6mm. 4mm, it gets a little bit harder to see some of the patterns, but you still get the different color variations. See how this one's a little bit more orange color? You've got these over here that are a little bit more grayish in color. So very nice. Really like this stone. So moving on with our gemstones, our next one is Poppy Jasper Carved Flower. This is 15mm and you get 2 of these. So perfect for earrings. So I might use these for earrings because most of y'all, if you've been with me long enough, know that I like to do earrings at the end of my unboxings. So I might do these. Not quite sure just yet, but I really like these. You've got a hole that goes through one side where it's in between, whoops, that's the hole right there on this side, where it's in between 2 petals, and then when you flip it to the opposite end, it comes out the center of the other petal on the other side. So and this one's really neat because it's got a gray little indentation right there. So it kind of goes along really, really well with the hematite. So that is what you get with those. I'm going to set this one down so I can show you the next one, because the next one is a bead strand. This is Rainbow Jasper Tubes. It's a half a strand, which is about 40 beads, and they are 4.5 by 2mm. And these go along very, very well with the Australian Jasper, because you can see the difference. Okay, focus, come on, you can focus, dude. Alright, so you can see kind of the difference in all the different colors and everything. The whites, and then there's some grays. You've got all the different colors of reds and everything. And then every once in a while you might see a little bit of an orangey color. So very, very nice strand to go along with everything. And they're all pretty much about the same length. So really, really, really nice. Really like this. This is going to be fun to use this in maybe a bracelet or something. Or potentially a necklace too. I have an idea of a necklace design coming up. So next bag is Red Jasper Carved Lanterns. These are 9 by 7mm and you get 8 of these. So you get the nice red color again. Got a little bit of a gray inclusions every once in a while to go along with everything. Then you have your darker inclusions, a little bit of a black, so it goes along with this really well, which also still goes along with all your hematite up here too. So those are your lantern beads. You get Rainbow Jasper Lentil Beads. These are 8mm and you get 10 of these. There again, you have really good darker gray inclusions with a little bit of lighter color gray inclusions also. And then your, oops, I just threw some beads on my desk. Then your hole goes down the center of the bead itself. Alright, next little bag is going to be a half strand of rutilated quartz chips. And these are about 6 to 12 millimeters, and it's about a 7.5 inch strand. It comes in a little bag. But look at these chips. These are so neat. And there again, if y'all have been with me long enough, you know that I really like to use chips in designs because I think they're fun to use. So, very neat. I really like those. And this little guy, I don't know if I can show this on, if I can get it on camera or not. Let me see if I can pick it up, because he is really kind of cool. He has gold flecks in this one. And I have no idea if you can see that or not. I mean, I can see it with the naked eye, but I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not. But there are gold flecks in this little thing. So this one's a really, really neat stone. Anyways, okay, so that's the chips. Okay, moving on. Not everybody likes chips. Not as much as I do, at least. Alright, so the next one you get is Topaz Jade Rondelles. These are 8 by 5 millimeters. You get 10 of these. So it's a very, very good color to go along with the oranges that are in the stone. So find one that has a really good orange to it and see how well that goes, that pairs along with that. Very, very good color to be using with this stone. Really, and really happy we got that color because it just gives it a little bit of a brightness to your designs and everything. And then the next one is bag number 10. It is hematite rice beads. These are 6 by 4 millimeters. You get 25 of these. So they're just a typical rice bead, and they are the hematite. Next hematite is bag number 11, and these are Hishi beads. They are 4 by 2 millimeters. You get a total of 50 of these. So that's what they look like on the side, and then they are very thin. So you can see how thin they are. So they're 4 by 2 millimeters. And then the next hematite on this portion of the unboxing video is these chevrons. These are 8 by 5 millimeters, and you get 20 of these. Now these are a little interesting because they're not straight on. They're angled a little bit. I don't know if I can show this to the extent of the way you can see how they're angled. But there is, like this one is facing where the angle's on the inside. And then when you do it like this, the angle's on the outside. I don't know, it's really hard to explain, but they're like, you have the chevron, but they're not flat like this. They're angled. They're angled up or down a little bit. So I don't know. It's hard to describe, but it's really, really neat though. So you'll be able to use this in like bead weaving designs, especially if you have pointed type beads that you can use and things like that. So very interesting. I really like that one. So that is the first 12 bags and our Gemstone Orphan. So meet me back and we'll go through the next 12 bags. Continuing on with our hematite, we've got 2 more products of hematite here. This one I'm really liking. I'm probably going to use this in the earring design more than likely. These are wavy donuts. They are 12 millimeters. You get 5 of these. So they are pretty thick. So they're pretty thick in size, but you can see how wavy they are, the different wave and everything. And they are a bead to where the hole goes down the center. So you can put one of your gemstone round beads in the center of it, and then that can be like a halo around it. So a wavy little halo. So those are pretty cool. This, of course, any type of heart, I'm going to say I love it. It's my favorite. I'm always about the hearts and everything, heart shapes. These are 8 millimeters. These are also hematite. You get a total of 10 of these in the bag. And they look the same in the front and the back, just like all the other hematites. Starting with some of the crystals, we have glass diamond faceted drops. They are A grade, and they are in the color Pearl Luster Gray. They are 13 by 8 millimeters, and you get 8 of them. So you can see that there's a little bit more of a grayish on one side, and then when you flip it over, you get a little bit more of that crystal on that side. And then this one is about the same. So really neat, and I really like how the hole goes through the top up there. So it's a drop, but it's not your typical rounded drop and everything. So really like those. I like different shaped beads anyway. It's fun to use, fun to design with. The bag number 16 is dark red AB window beads. You get 5 of these, and they are 10 millimeters. So very pretty, cute little beads to use. They kind of remind me of soccer balls almost. Red little soccer balls. Alright, bag number 17 are crystal discs and Miyuki size 8 seed bead spacers. The discs are 7.5 by 7 millimeters, and you get 15 of those. And there was just a little handful of the, looks like topaz, silver lined, yeah, probably silver lined topaz Miyuki seed beads. But those are your crystals. They're like little lanterns in a way. This bag is a mixture. It is bag number 18. You get 4 of your hearts, you get 6 of your flowers, and you get 2 of your snails. So you get a total of 12 beads in here. Your heart, the hole goes down the center, just like all the other hearts, or most of the hearts that we get. The flower is fairly similar to all the other ones. Your hole goes through the petal on one side, comes out in between the 2 petals on the other side. And then your snail, your hole starts at the top of the snail up here, and then comes out on the other end down there. So very cute. And then the back side of the snail looks like that. That's the only one that has a difference to the back and the front. And then everything else is the same on both sides. Then we have bag number 19. This is imitation stone cubes. They are 2-tone gray with rainbow finish. It is a half a strand, and they are 4.5 millimeters. And I love to mix different size beads. Use round beads, use cubes, use diamond-shaped beads, you know, all different types of things in my products. I like to kind of mix it up some. It gives it a little bit more dimension. But those are really, really pretty. That'll really pick up on the grays and the Australian Jasper stones. Bag number 20 is splatter glass rondelles. They are in the color red, black, gray, and white. They are 8 by 5 millimeters, and you get 10 of them. So it looks like literally just somebody had fun with spray painting or splattering paint on the rondelle, even though it's glass. But somebody had fun doing that. So these are really pretty. They're cute. Very artistic. And bag number 21 is metal beads. They are carved barrels. These are 6 by 6 millimeters. They're in the color of gunmetal. They are lead, cadmium, and nickel free. So these are the smaller of the 2 barrels, and it's got a cute little design on the edge, and it's just kind of a swirly design that you can see on the edge. Then you have a larger size barrel that has a larger hole to it as well. So this one's a large holed bead. And this is bag number 22. They are 12 by 7 millimeters. They are also in the color gunmetal, but these are lead and cadmium free. You get a total of 8 of these. And when I pulled out this bag, I immediately started thinking about a design idea. So more than likely I'll be coming back with that here within the next couple of weeks, showing you how to do that design. Now we're getting into some of our findings. The bag number 23 are the ear studs with a ball. They are in the color gunmetal plated stainless steel. So you get your ball earring with a loop at the end. Down there you get the little butterfly clasp, and then it also comes with a jump ring to go along with it. And then here is your bail. If you prefer to use your bail on using your Gemstone Orphan, this is the size of 14 by 7 millimeters. They are gunmetal plated brass. You get one of these. So it's a typical pinch bail. So you have the opening down there in the bottom, and then that's what it looks like on the front. So that is the next 12 bags. So meet me back, and we have 6, 7, 8 more items to go through. So meet me back and we'll go over them. Continuing on with our findings, we have Bag number 25. This is a 1 to 4 flower connector. It's in the color of gunmetal. It is lead and cadmium free. They are 20 by 11 millimeters, and you get 4 of these. So that's the way it looks on the front, where you have a nice little flower motif on the front, and then the back side is just a plain backside with some lines on it. So you get 4 of those. So good thing to use for if you want to make a necklace that has multiple strands in it, something like that. That's always something good to use those with. Bag number 26 are crystal rondelle spacers. These are also gunmetal, and they are crystal colored crystals. That made sense, yeah. Crystal color crystals, whatever. And they are also lead and cadmium free. They are 6 by 3 millimeters, and you get a quantity of 10 of them. So these are your crystals, and they're just your typical rondelle spacers with the little rhinestones in them. So there, I can get one to stand up just like that. Next bag is bag number 27, which is a cute little connector. It is a gunmetal plated stainless steel connector that has a little heart cut out to it. It is 38 by 6 millimeters. So cute little connector, and it's got 2 little holes on either side. So that way you have another little heart motif item to use. Very good to use in a bracelet. Next one is your chain you get for this kit. It is bag number 28, and it is a textured cable chain. It's lead and cadmium free, and it is 36 inches, and the little chain portions, is 4 by 3 millimeters. So you've got some textured chain to go along with your kit. Always good to get some chain, because you never know when you're going to need to extend something a little bit longer than what you made it. Next bag is also another really good thing to have, which is a mixture of anywhere between 4 and 10 millimeter sized jump rings. These are also a gunmetal color, and they are also lead and cadmium free. You got about 10 grams of it. So each bag is going to have a different consistency as far as how many of each size you get. Wow, that was hard for me to say. So just from this little amount right here, you can already see that there's some 4 millimeters there. Those look like 6, some 8s, and some 10s. So a good mixture of jump rings. Always good thing to have, good staple to have. Now bag number 30 is going to be an either or. I've got the heart magnetic clasp, but some of you may be getting the ball magnetic clasp. The only similarity to it is that they come with some lobster jump rings. Oh my. They come with the lobster clasps as well. And these are also lead and cadmium free. And then these, I would probably think that the ball probably does something similar. But when you open this up, you have to kind of twist it open. It's a pretty good clasp too, by the way. It's easy to get open, but there we go. Push it down that way. So push it, grab it on either end, and then go up with it like that, and then it comes off a lot easier. But you see that there's 3 holes right here? Well, there's 3 little indentions or protrusions there that will fit in those holes to help keep the magnetic clasp from coming off as easily, so you can't tug it on it this way. So you can always take off the lobsters and then use those jump rings to attach this to either a necklace or a bracelet, whichever one you want. That's the front of it, and then there is the back of it. So that is your clasp that you get for the kit. Now we also get 2 extra little bonus items. So bonus item number 1 is this adorable lampwork Dalmatian dog. This is so cute. So this is our little Dalmatian, which is kind of cute because it goes along with my family. Those that watch some of my lives know that I am getting a puppy dog. And we're not getting a Dalmatian, we're getting a Bernese Mountain Dog, but we're getting a puppy. He's coming into our lives actually tomorrow as of the recording of this video, so we're excited here at the house. But very cute. This is going to go along with my octopus that I have, and I have a butterfly, and I have a lion that I'm like keeping little cute little things like this off to the side. They're just fun things that I'm just keeping myself. And this is the other free gift, which would make a perfect graduated necklace. And this is hematite graduated sticks. So it's very, very nice to just do something simple with this. Just take some soft flex beading cable or beading wire, and then just string on even just seed beads if you wanted to do seed beads. But you can also do, you know, some of the smaller gemstones, something like that. Just put some of the seed beads or gemstones up along either side of it, and then just 1, 2, or 3 in between each one, and then just have a nice little simple graduated necklace. So that's your other free gift that you get for this box. So that is the Australian Picture Jasper, or the Noreena Jasper kit for this month, or this next 2 months actually, for Gemstone Orphanage. So next screen you will see a supplies needed page, so you can follow along with me if you would like to make the tutorial at the end. So I'll meet you back in just a few moments. Choose which one to do the tutorial on, so I'm going to do it on all 5 of the earrings I'm deciding to do today. So I've got everything all laid out, and you've already seen everything on the previous page, so I'll go through each earring one by one, and then we'll put all these together. Now, the only extra things that you're going to need are going to be some sort of a head pin, and then you'll need a couple of 11-0s, and then a couple pairs of ear wires of choice. This is the ear wire that came with the kit, and then that will go with this one right here, the second one that we're going to do. And then all these others were just from my stash. So this first one we're going to make, I've already made the one little loop right here for one of these 2 guys, so I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll show you how to do this one as well. So for this one's going to go with these guys. And all I did is I just went through my, I forget what these things were called, lentils, I think. Yeah, lentils. I just went through the lentils and just chose some that looked very similar to each other. This one has a little stripe going down the center, so does this one right here. So I just made sure, okay, these 2 are going to be the ones that are going to be in the center with the hearts. And then these 2, this one has a little bit of a darker stripe, so it's going to go along with this one right here, and then this one's a little bit more solid, so that's going to go along with those 2 right there. So we'll start off with this one. Now I ended up using 11-0 seed beads on these, only because some of the holes on these lentils are a little big. Like this one's humongous. I don't even know if that's actually going to fit. Yeah, it will. Okay. So some of the holes on the lentils were quite large. And so I just put some 11-0 seed beads on either end just to make sure that nothing is going to fall out. And then all you do with this is you make a little bend just above the seed bead. Now the only thing with the seed beads, they tend to try to pop off. Whoops, is not in focus there, sorry. So they tend to try to pop off the head pin sometimes, so just be careful with it. And then we're going to set that one down off to the side for a second. I'm going to go ahead and load up my next one. So I'm going to start down here at the bottom with the larger of the hearts, the crystal hearts. Put the next lentil on. This one we're not using seed beads. And then we're going to put the hematite heart on top. And then this, we're just going to make a bend at the very top of the heart. Just a nice little bend like we did with the other one, just like that. So now we're going to go and cut these off. So I'm going to line up the head pin with the edge, the end of my nail down there, and then I'm going to use the beginning of my nail right here to use that as a gauge as to where to cut off. And that typically ends up being a good amount to be able to make a nice little simple loop. I'm going to go about 1/4 of the way up my round nose, and then I'm just going to make myself a simple loop. And then this way, if I have to, I can go down the round nose pliers and make the loop a little bit smaller, because we're going to use chain to attach these all together. So we want to make sure that that loop is actually touching the other side so the chain doesn't come out. Alright, so that one is done. So we're going to do this one real quick. So we're going to line that one up, and then we're going to cut that part off. And I'm holding on to both ends to keep things from flying. And then we're going to go about 1/4 of the way down the round nose pliers and then start our loop and make it smaller if you have to. This way all the loops are approximately the same size. And there we go. So there's that one. Alright, so this one was the stripe, then this one's the solid, and then this one goes as the longest. Now my piles of chain up here, I have a pile of 3 lengths of chain, 5 lengths of chain, and then 9 lengths of chain. So that's going to be the difference of what we're going to use with this. So I'm going to pick up one of my, actually I'm not going to do that one yet. We need to add our lengths of chain. So this one, the one with the striped lintel with a darker stripe on it that we just made, we're going to put this one on the length of 3. So I'm going to pick up one of my lengths of 3, and somewhere around there we're just going to slide this one on. Oops. And then make sure that it's closed really good so that doesn't come out. The second one is going to get a length of 5. Whoops. It was not opened. I was on the wrong side of the loop there. There we go. So I'm going to pick up one of these 5 links. We're going to slide this guy on. And then I think this is the one that gets 2 5s. I think the other one is a 5 also. Oh my goodness. I'm having a good shaky day today, so hopefully I can get these earrings made without throwing stuff across my desk. A couple of the samples I ended up having to go try to find the beads because they went flying somewhere. It's a good shaky day today. Alright, and then 1, 2, 3, 4... Nope, this one's a 9. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. Okay, so this one, I lied. This one, the heart and the lentil, that one gets a 9. And then, as soon as I've had this side that is open, there we go. So we're going to pick up one of the 9s. And then slide that guy on. And then we're going to we're going to assemble this guy. Good gracious. Now these jump rings are the ones that came in the kit. These are the smallest ones, so these are 4mm jump rings that I'm using. And then we're going to put the 3-strand on first. And then we're going to put the 5 on next. And then we're going to end with the 9. Oh gosh, I wasn't even on camera, sorry. Okay, so we have the 3, the 5, and then the 9. And then this one gets one of these. Now this one is, this ear wire is very similar to what came in the kit. So this ring right here is actually a soldered ring, so that's why I'm using the jump rings. Now I want to make sure that since the soldered ring is facing you, I want to make sure that that jump ring goes on in the correct direction without dropping everything. Alright, well at least everything stayed on the jump ring. I don't know how that worked, but it did. So I want to make sure that the three length lintel gets in the front of the earring. Try to put this on quickly so I can try to get it done so I don't drop it again, hopefully. There we go. And then when you get done with that one, you have earring number 1 complete. Meet me back and I'll show you earring number 2. Alright, for earring number 2, we're going to need one of each of your different lengths of your chain. So you're going to need a 3, a 5, and a 9 again. And then on these, I'm using the gemstone chips that came in the collection. So I picked out 6 chips that were more of a white color, 6 that were kind of intermediate that had a really good inclusions in it and everything, and then 6 that are a lot darker. And all we're going to do is we're just going to stack them together. These 8O seed beads are the ones that came in with the crystal lanterns, I believe is what they were called. But don't quote me on the name of that. My cats are walking on my desk right now. Hopefully they don't get in the way. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to stack 3 of these chips on top of each other. And then I'm going to make sure that they kind of lay in, you know, a good way. So that way there's not a whole lot of the head pin shining through. And then I'm going to end with one of the other seed beads there. So then you would do that with all the others. And then this one, we just do a quick little bend just above the seed bead, just like we did with the other one. And then get all your other ones done the same way. And then we're going to cut off just like we were doing with the first earring. And then make another simple loop with this one as well. About 1/4 of the way there. And then make it a little bit smaller if you have to finish it out so that way it touches the other side. And then this one's kind of bent a little bit, so I'm going to straighten it up a little bit. So there we go. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the 3. Now the 3 on my earring is going to be the white. So we're going to open up the white chips, and then that one's going to get the chain of 3. I feel like I'm crocheting now. Chain 3. And if I can get it to slip on without losing the other beads. Okay, let me make it a little bit more wider. The other beads are kind of getting in the way, so it's making it a little bit difficult to get that to slide on. There we go. And then we're going to put the 5 on the one that we just did, which is the middle color. And nope, it is this side. Pick up one of the 5s. Slide that guy on. Oh my, come on. Why is it always whenever you're recording, you always end up having more difficulties than when you're just sitting here working on stuff? Always seems to happen that way. It's kind of funny. Alright, and then this one, the darker, is going to get the 9. And this is actually the first one I made, was this one. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to make all my earrings with a little bit of chain and kind of make them similar looking. Alright, now this one is another one of the 4mm jump rings that came in the combination. We're going to load this one up just like we did with the other. So we're going to put the 3 on first. And then the 5, and then the 9. You can absolutely do different lengths of your chain also. You don't have to do the 3, 5, and 9. I don't even know why I skipped 7. For some reason I skipped 7, but you don't have to do that. You can always do whatever length of chain that you want. Or you can just use jump rings. You can use the jump rings in the kit too. Then once you get that one set up to where your 3 is in the front, then you have your earring set number 2 made. For earring number 3, we're going to need one of the lengths of 3 and then 2 lengths of 5 on this one. So I already went ahead and made both of the 6mm beads right here into just little charms like that. Just doing the same as we did before. I'll show you how to use this guy because this guy's a little bit different. And that you have to put your head pin in first, and then before you go anywhere, you have to get your 6mm bead in there. So it's easier if you have this on the mat, but I'm just trying to hold it up so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm just looking for the hole of the bead, and then I'm making sure that I'm going through the other side. So that way you have your bead sitting inside the cage. It's kind of cool. I love it. And then this one, we're actually going to make a wrapped loop. So this is how I do my wrapped loops. Hold your chain nose pliers, line up the left-hand side of the pliers to the left-hand side of whichever bead that you want to use. We're going to use the wavy round thing. And then we're going to bend over the pliers, pick up your round nose pliers, put your round nose pliers in approximately the same spot where the left-hand side lines up with the left-hand side of the bead of choice. And then you go up and over till it touches, switch your jaws, continue on to the back. Now I am going to make a wrapped loop with what is left. So I'm going to use my flat nose pliers just because it's a little easier to hold on to the flat nose pliers. And then I'm going to use, right now I'm going to use my fingers until this gets too small, and then I'm going to pick up my pliers and finish it out. And then I think with the other one, I think I went around 4 times. Okay, so that's twice. And then I'm just going to use my pliers and try to finish out the last 2 loops. And you can go around less if you want to. You can go around more if you want to. Whoops. Just make sure that your loops don't overlap unless that is what you want them to do. That is always a possibility too. There we go. And then now we're going to cut off the excess. And then we're going to tuck in that little spot that's sitting there. Now to tuck it in, I'm going to hold on to the loop again with my flat nose. And then I'm going to use my chain nose pliers and just go around the earring or the post until that is tucked in to the way that I would like it to be tucked in. Now you may have to switch your hands if you're right-handed and you don't feel comfortable using your tools with your left hand. Then you may have to hold with your left and then use the tools with your right. This is kind of difficult because I'm trying to stay in frame, but that one little spot won't go down. Okay, now I think I got it. There we go. Now I felt it. Alright, so now our little guy has a nice little wrapped loop there. Now when I was assembling this earring, I kind of forgot that I did a wrapped loop. So I didn't have anything open. So we're going to need an extra jump ring for this guy right here. So now I have it set up also to where we have the darker of the 2 is going to be the 3. The lighter of the 2 6mm is going to be one of the 5s. And then since I kind of forgot that I had a closed loop there, that's where the second 5 chain is going to come in. So we're going to go ahead and assemble these guys. So we're going to start off with the smaller one. You get one of the 3s. And then, oh, come on. There we go. And then the lighter color 6mm gets one of the 5s. And we'll open up this jump ring and we'll add this to our wrapped loop one. Oops, I'm using the wrong pliers. Oh well, they still work. And then add the next 5 chain to it. Still using the wrong pliers. Let's pick up the right pliers, Dina. Alright, make sure all of that is closed. Lay it out so it's a little easier to get open. And then this one, I'm using one of these ear wires again. So this one is a closed loop again, so I'm going to use another one of the 4mm jump rings. And then we're going to load these up like we've been doing. Whoops, that's the middle one. Do the 3 first. And then your 6mm with the 5 links, and then your wrapped loop with the 5 links. Make sure that your 3 length is facing the front of the earring again, if your loop is going in this direction, and then close it up. And then when you have your second one done of that, then you have earring set number 3 made. These last 2 earrings I'll show you in the same clip because they're basically the same thing, just different types of beads in different orders and everything. The only reason why I'm doing just one instead of multiples on this one is that this earring is a little bit more dainty. This is a 3mm ball of sterling silver ball earring that I have, whereas these are 4 or 5mm over here, depending on which one I'm using. So it's a little bit more dainty, so I wanted to keep these a little bit more simple looking. So we're going to start off with this one first. So we're going to pick up one of the hematite washers, one of the painted interesting little beads, one of the hematite rice beads, the painted bead, and then end with a washer. So then that is the first one. And then the second one, we're going to start with a washer there again. We're going to pick up one of the rhinestone rondelles, one of the, I think these were lanterns? Yeah, red jasper carved lantern beads, and then the rhinestone, and end with the washer or the hematite again, just like that. Then we're going to make our loops, simple loops yet again. Only one that we did a wrapped loop was on that one earring, and that was it. Everything else was simple loops. So we're going to make just a small little bend just above the earring. Cut these 2 guys off. And see how I'm kind of doing everything at the same time, where I use one tool and then do everything with that one tool, and then pick up the next tool and do everything with that next tool. Makes it a little bit easier, a little bit faster. Just make it a little bit of an assembly line for you. And then we're going to pick up our round nose and make our loop over here. And I don't know if you can hear him or not, but that is Casper in the background snoring like crazy. Kind of funny. I guess he's trying to get his sleep in before the puppy gets here. Which, by the way, the name of the puppy is going to be Captain. If you didn't already know that. Because I have already talked about him in a couple of my lives too, so. Alright, so those 2 are done. So now we're going to open these up. We're going to add on the 3 link of chain. And now these ear wires that I'm using actually are open ear wires. They have an open jump ring to it. So I'm not going to use any extra of the small jump rings that came in the kit. I'm just going to use the open jump ring on the ear wire. this one. As soon as I figure out which side it is. I think I was right the first time. Maybe. Nope, I was not. It's this one. And then oh, I gotta get it open a little bit more. Sometimes this happens where the beads are just a little too wide and you can't get your chain on that you want to get on. And then close that. And then now we're going to open up the back end of the ear wire. So this one has a little small jump ring on the back and it opens up back there. And then we're going to slide these guys on, and this, it doesn't matter which way is which. And then, oh, my nails are getting in the way. There we go. And that one is done. And we're going to do this one, and then I'll hold them up so you can see what they look like. And then, of course, I'm going to have pictures here at the end, like I always do. So you can see what they are, and you probably saw them at the very beginning too. I usually put the pictures of what I make at the beginning of the tutorial also. And then that is earring set number 4 and 5. I couldn't choose just one, so I had to make all 5 earrings for this collection. Let me know in the comments which pair was your favorite, and make sure you're subscribed because I'll be back soon with a full tutorial using these gemstones. All the details for the Gemstone Orphanage collection are linked below, so check it out!